tell me. They tell me. Look what you're doing to me. I'm utterly at your whim. All of my defenses down. Your camera looks through me with its X-ray vision, and all systems run aground. All I can manage to push from my lips is a stream of absurdity. Every word I intended to speak winds up locked in the circuitry. No way to control it, it's totally automatic whenever you're around. They tell me I'm walking blindfolded, completely automatic. All of my systems are down, 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 down. What is this madness that makes my motor run and my legs too weak to stand? I go from sadness to exhilaration like a robot at your command. My hands perspire and shake like a leaf. Up and down goes my temperature. I summon doctors to get some relief, but they tell me there is no cure. They tell me no way to control it, it's totally automatic whenever you're around. They tell me I'm walking blindfolded, completely automatic. All
What you're seeing now is the latest nuclear missile test conducted just hours ago by Lakewood Church. The Houston-based megachurch confirming this morning they had successfully launched a long-range warhead that passed over Washington, D.C. before splashing down into the Atlantic Ocean. While Lakewood Supreme Pastor Joel Osteen has fired ballistic missiles off the Gulf Coast before, today marks the first time the ministry has ever tested nuclear weapons. In a statement, Osteen hailed the launch as a major victory for the evangelical movement, stating, quote, "Today's nuclear weapons test is a message to anyone who threatens the sovereignty of Lakewood Church. We will not be bullied by the U.S., who have proven time and time again to be the staunch enemy of the Lakewood people." The test was widely condemned as a violation of international law, with the United Nations today announcing new sanctions on the megachurch, but many experts say the launch should come as no surprise.
Osteen has been paranoid for years that the U.S. government is going to go after the church's tax-exempt status. And this is his way of saying, back off. I'm not afraid to hit the launch button. And based on the amount of enriched uranium that they've collected from parishioners every Sunday, this nuke is likely to be the first of many.
Prior to the launch, Osteen attended a staged inspection that was covered only by journalists from the church-run newsletter. It was the first time Joel Osteen had been seen in public since last year, when he was photographed with the visiting former NBA star Dennis Rodman. Coming up next, the inspiring story of a man who went from being homeless to impoverished.
All right, Chad, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Chat says strange music choice for you. I didn't pick it. Somebody else did, which along those lines, let's go ahead and play some super chats I got yesterday.
Have you heard of Jesus?
So Swole Brostein tips $111.11. Thank you very much for that. And then tipped the same amount. What is it going to play?
Have you heard of Jesus?
For me to play that onion clip. And then tipped. If it's going to play down. But I got to wait for it to go, I guess.
Have you heard of Jesus?
Then he tipped $36 for the playlist. So, I don't know. Chat says, who has that much money to throw away? I don't know, man. One of y'all got deep pockets, and trust me, it is manna from heaven this month, because I...
Have you heard of Jesus?
Oh, we got I clicked it. I clicked it twice. That was my bad. Okay. It's not a second one. Chat says he has to be charged backing this. No, he's not. Either that or I'm just quick enough to get it out of my PayPal before No, man. It's all cleared. All of it. I'm shocked. I genuinely consider it a gift from God. Because my ass is an unemployed loser this month. And trust me, this has been a huge fucking help. But any super chats are a huge fucking help. No matter how big or how small. So please, let's keep them fucking super chats coming. Oh, man. So I've invited quite a few people tonight. I don't know how many of them are going to show up. I don't have the pool I used to, chat. I don't have the friend group I used to online. All of them either quit the internet or they went insane. Or I made fun of Spoonie and they don't talk to me anymore because that hurt their feelings. All of them are gone. So I don't know. But I'm hoping some people hop in and we can have a good chat. Because I want to have a good chat about how great this fucking presidency has been so far. So we're going to hop into the Discord chat. See if this works. I think it'll work. I thought I tested it out. Hey, people at Discord chat, can you hear me?
No, we can't hear you.
Okay, I can't hear you either, so all good. All good. Audio is very low. We want the audio to be very low. The people love that.
It does take an act of God to make you audible.
The people tell me all the time, they're like, Chris, can you get it a little lower? Can you get it a little lower? I'm listening. I don't want my girlfriend to know I listen to someone as based as you, so I'm doing it quietly in the other. All right. Let's make sure everything's going good over here. Yes. Okay, all good, all good. So, how's everybody enjoying the fucking Trump 2.0? Oh, by the way, we got Dan in here from my Discord, And we got Artistic Layman in here, and Grubby looks like he's hopped in. Cool. His black
Yes,
girlfriend
yeah.
let him hop
King
in.
is here.
His black girlfriend gave him permission, so he's in here.
Which, by the way, she's very disappointed in the lack of black rap music. Is this how you really celebrate Black History Month?
Hey, I didn't
Is
pick the
that going
playlist.
on?
I didn't pick the playlist. All right, but I gotta say, I like 2 out of 3 of them. I wasn't really feeling that Gummy song, the third one. I don't know, man. It had decent beat, but I wasn't feeling the lyrics. First 2 were pretty good. Never heard those songs before in my fucking life either. Let me say what they were too, real quick, before I close those windows. So the first
If you
song,
don't, chat will ask.
the first song was Ten Snake featuring Fiora, the song called Automatic. No fucking idea what that is. I'm getting old, I guess. Next song was Ocean Lab. The song title was Miracle. Or maybe I'm even getting the band and song title names. I don't fucking know. And then we had Feeling Yummy X Righteously by Aisha. No fucking idea. Couldn't tell you who any of these people are. But those were what was picked. So there you go. And look, they paid $36, but I am more generous than that. For a mere $12, I let people pick a 3-song playlist that's no more than 12 minutes. I would obviously prefer a lot more rap and pop, but I'm sure some of the people in the audience might want to play horrible country music. That's fine. I can just take my earbuds out until it's done.
Well, I can get you a black country singer. Is that good? Is that
We'll
a
get
compromise?
Beyonce. We'll get Beyonce.
Oh,
Country
Number
album
one
of the
country
year.
music singer.
yeah, there actually are decent like black country singers. That's probably a big slap in their face.
Look, I'm gonna say I fucking hate Beyonce, and I'm the kind of guy I like pop music. I like R&B music. I like the kind of music she makes. Beyonce sucks. So like, she doesn't deserve any fucking awards. That said, it was hilarious watching Country Bros be mad about it. But anyways, we got Grubby, we got Dan in here, we got Artistic Layman in here. Long time no here.
It's good to be back. Vaclav, how are things?
Not bad, man. Things are going pretty good in Washington right now. Shockingly
Oh, the
good.
entertainment never stops. The entertainment never ceases. May it never end.
You know what I'm so pleasantly surprised by? It's not just that he's pushing forward, but also the way he's doing it. Like, a perfect example is the Big Balls guy got canceled over at Doge, and then they just brought him back. You know what I mean? And JD Vance going out there like, no, cancel culture's gay. We're not doing this anymore. And like, you expect the right to try to take the reins of this and do it for their own purposes. But no, we're not going to use the One Ring for good. We're throwing it in the fire. And I'm so pleasantly surprised with that. Trump isn't trying to steer the machine in a direction he likes. He's trying to dismantle it.
Well, it only took like 4 years of of conservatives having their balls crushed to maybe think that maybe we should just get rid of it.
Well, even before then, it's been like decades. Like every time conservatives try to do it, it ends up biting them in the ass.
Well, conservatives, they don't, so many of them for so long, they haven't wanted to actually get the government under control. They've wanted to get the government under their control. And usually they end up making it even bigger in the process. You know, it wasn't the Democrats that gave us the Patriot Act. But it was the Democrats that used it to debank you in the 2010s.
Or show up and arrest you because you spoke ill of a teacher at a parent-teacher
Yeah.
meeting.
To arrest you because you happen to be within a 20-mile radius of January 6 riots.
Yeah, I was just having to say, you were just at the Burger King near the Capitol.
Yeah, there were people being picked up who were on vacation in D.C. and they just happened to be there on that day.
What if you just wanted to go to the inauguration? What if you were pro-Biden and you wanted to go to the inauguration? Apparently, fuck you.
Well, there were people who getting arrested who were just there to look at the museums.
So yeah, I'm very pleased with how it's just, no, we're not, you know, JD Vance isn't out there trying to cancel leftists. He's canceling cancel culture, which, thank you. Like, no, somebody shouldn't lose their job because they called someone the N-word on Twitter 3 years ago. Just full stop. We're not doing that anymore. That's dumb.
Chat says they missed Layman. So you should come on more often.
I
don't control the visuals anymore.
Yeah, I miss when we had Google Hangouts and Artistic Layman was great with the visuals. Let's see. Red Pill Renegade says, yes, I miss those days of you teaming up with Luke, Matt Forney, Davis Arini, and giving the most base takes that shook the YouTube censors to their core. Good times. Well, I invited Forney. I don't know if he'll make it. I somehow doubt Davis will be coming on tonight, but I don't care. He could. I don't give a fuck.
He's busy ruling Canada.
Is he in Canada now? Oh wait, yeah, he is in Canada.
He's got to deal with all those tariffs. All Davis Arini tweets have a tariff on him now, so it's been tough on him.
Does he have a regular job now? Has he
I
just
don't
gotten
know.
off the
I
internet?
don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't wish him any. I hope he does. I hope he has his shit together. I don't know, man. Yeah,
I think I follow him on Instagram, but I don't remember ever seeing anything from him in a long time.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you, man. Hope he's doing good though. Liam Gray might hop in later. I don't know. He said he's trying to get one of his kids down. I couldn't be more thrilled with this though. Seriously, the more I think about it, the more I look into this, the more I'm like, this is fucking historic. This is like changed the game for generations to come, kind of shit.
I like that his fuckwell has come up dry anytime they ask him anything or concern troll him on the media.
Yeah, they asked him about the whole big balls thing, which, by the way, Chad, if you hadn't been keeping up, so the big balls thing, there was a guy, the Doge team, all the little base Zoomers, which is perfect too. I love that these entrenched bureaucrats have to get fired by some broccoli-haired little dude that's never kissed a girl. That's hilarious. But
if there's anybody it would be more infuriating to be fired by, it would be a Zoomer.
Oh God, yeah. You just try to explain your bullshit job and you're like, nah, that's cat, bro. But anyway, so the media they doxed one of these kids. They dug up some old posts from like 3 years ago where he went by big balls, which is hilarious watching congressmen and CNN officials or CNN reporters say big balls. But he had a bunch of spicy stuff. And I think he even resigned before he got fired. But then like later that day, Elon Musk is like, nah, I think I'm bringing him back. And JD Vance pipes in like, yeah, cancer culture's gay. We're not doing that anymore. Come on back. And then they even asked Trump in like a thing. He's like, what do you think of the big balls situation? And he's just like, I don't know the particulars, but if the vice president says he's cool. Did you say that? Did you say that, Vance? Yeah? Okay, well, it's fine. I'm with that. Whatever. I'm going to say yes. Sure. I don't care. It's fine. Yeah, this has been amazing. I could never have dreamed how well this is going. And I know now there's like some judge that's trying to like block, oh, well, Doge can't look at the finances for such and such thing now, which there's no basis for that. They might take it to the Supreme Court, but it'll probably be the next judge up that throws it out. But who cares? It's Trump's probably going to just be like, yeah, whatever. That's your ruling. Enforce it. Like, who gives a shit? I don't like to speak for God like a lot of Christians do, but I don't think that Trump, by half a second, missed a bullet in Butler, PA, for some faggy judge to stop him now. I don't think we've come
he
this far.
believes it. Trump for sure believes that he was saved by God to save the country. You can just tell by the way he's talking about it.
I do. And again, I think a lot of Christians, a lot of evangelicals in particular, are way too quick to go down that train of thought. I generally don't like to, say what God is or isn't doing. But in this time, I don't see how you can look at that Butler, PA shit and not see Providence will right there.
Or to just put it more simply, I can't say for certain, but God definitely wanted Trump to live.
Yeah, just at the exact a fraction of a second away from having his brain splattered all over that stage. Unless the man literally has spider sense, I don't know of another explanation. Yeah, I've been thrilled with this. Like, I couldn't be happy.
No, you should be mad because he freed all the J6ers and they need to stay in prison.
Yeah,
they'll be radicalized more if they stay in prison.
We should have we could have a revolution.
Yeah.
I follow a bunch of libertarians too, and hearing some of like the black-pilled libertarians whining about it and like, well, Trump's not a libertarian. I'm like, yeah, cool. I am a libertarian and I voted for him, all right? And he's done more already in less than a month to shrink the federal government than the Libertarian Party's done in 50 years.
And
I
they
know
did
this
not
is-
nominate a libertarian.
I know this is
He's taking
winning
away-
and you're not used to it, but this is what it feels like.
He's defunding the left's like super mechanism for all of their bullshit. So that's going to like cripple them for decades.
Yeah, think of how much U.S. aid being just defunded, just shred it. How much
We
that's going to
funded-
positively impact the world.
Through U.S. aid, we funded the Summer of Love. All those riots came out of our taxpayer dime.
All the dumb shit in media is all because some NGO or nonprofit that's getting USAID money through 3 different shell companies push that shit, okay? USAID is why we have to have a fat, ugly April in a Ninja Turtles movie, all right? Like, and that
I think
shit's
it's also
done.
why we had Rings of Power.
Yeah, that's why we have to have gay sex scenes with bears in video games now. And that's done. We're not doing that anymore.
No, that's just been D&D for a while.
Like, no, that stuff is going to dry up. Yeah, there'll still be, lefty artists and shit like that. I'm just saying, like, that obnoxious shit getting pushed everywhere, that's going to dry up now. Like, the money for that is gone. All the left-wing media is going to dry up. The Politico and all these other fucking commie rags.
I can't wait.
No one's going to be paying Lindsay Ellis to talk about gay Transformers on PBS anymore. That shit's all gone. Like,
I wouldn't be so sure.
that
Nano
shit
can speak.
that shit dries up in a big way. Yeah, there's always going to be a little bit of it, but it's not going to be shoved into everything all the fucking time once that money dries up.
Oh no, this is a very, very big industry. The biggest industry in the world right now, I would say. They will find a way to get back to it, trust me. They have to do, quote unquote, the work.
They're actually are entrenching themselves deeper. Like a lot of these companies that are getting rid of DEI, what they're doing is they're just doing unwritten rules. So
They're moving to something. Yeah, there's a foundation called Bridge, which is like belonging, race, inclusion, whatever. But basically, the idea is they're moving it to every employee handbook instead of having a specific department called DEI.
They're going to do the commie culture thing.
Exactly.
Did you get this from a Bostonian woman?
I may or may not have.
Okay, well, we're going to keep our power levels low because we'll confuse Chris.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, he's gonna freak out because of his anime racism.
Yeah, that's true. Don't worry about it, Chris. But basically, yeah, these companies, these people are true believers. They're the kind of people that, when they're put into the gulag, will still believe in communism like the Soviets did. Yeah. So they're going to stay around. They'll just have less money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
the purpose of
even them having
the
less
purpose-
money means they're doing less things.
Yeah, it'll blunt them, but they'll still be there.
the purpose of DEI was to get them hired, and now Bridge is to make sure that while they're still hired, they're going to unofficially enforce it.
You know, and most of them are the HR lady, the one you hate.
Can we have an amendment that ends all HR departments?
Well, there was a
That would be
CEO
great.
who was wondering why one of his positions wasn't hired for like half a year, so he submitted his own resume under a fake name and then asked, "Hey, is there any candidates?" And they're like, "No quality candidates yet." So he audited them and then fired them all because it turns out software was rejecting 100% of the applications, and nobody in HR was doing their jobs.
There's a lot of
They were
companies
too
that are
busy.
just, they're pretending they're hiring people and they're not too.
Yeah.
That too, so they can cry for HB1s.
Yeah.
Some of them apparently sell your data to data brokers too when you apply.
Oh, that's cool. Again, though,
If you don't think every single box on every single form on every single website where you enter your information is being sold, you're not paying attention. Everybody who collects anything is selling it to everyone else. Trust me.
oh yeah, that's why every store is like, "Would you like our card to save money?" It's like, well, where's that money coming from? Because we want to keep
Market
track of
research.
who buys what flavor of Pop-Tarts in this fucking county.
Well, the McDonald's app when that was going around, like, didn't just track what you bought; it tracked your real time location all the time.
Good God. What a
Great.
dystopian nightmare. Fucking Grimace.
Brave
Watch it
for
everywhere
all.
you go.
It tracks absolutely all of your habits, where you go online, where you are IRL, everything.
Ronald McDonald wants to know what porn you beat off to.
I just,
no.
well,
Man.
the FBI knows which videos you watch on YouTube, so I just assume I'm on like 20 watch lists now.
The Grimace is watching you, goon.
Probably.
Which, ironically, it was to the Grimace. So,
I detect a British person.
oh, does he have a license to be in here?
I don't know. You could ask him.
Do you have your beat off license there, James?
You're expecting something.
He's
Oh,
fighting
sorry.
so hard. He's fighting so hard. He wants to just begin with the slur, and he realizes that he can't.
Well, he might actually get arrested if he does.
My voice is so bad. I sound like RFK Jr. Kids,
Oh
would you like
no!
some- Kids, would you like
You
some
catch
beef
a bite?
tallow?
You know what would clear that right up is some nice hot spicy curry.
Oh no, it fucking wouldn't.
I'm going to be honest with you. I like curry. I just don't like Indian food in general. But just make
Chris,
make some chicken and put
Chris.
some curry on it. That's fine.
Beklov,
Every other month, the Indian food section.
Beklov, you missed the point. I like curry. I just don't like Indians. Period. By the way, you missed the point. You know the Grimace Mook in you know the I don't know if you guys know this. After 45 years of not being available. Oh god, I do actually sound like RFK Jr.
You do,
You do.
seriously.
I thought
You sound like you got
maybe
laryngitis.
stole your-
He, sounds like he's going to take my
You get
fries away because
vaccinated,
they're cooked in
basically.
seed oil.
Sorry, I got vaxxed. But McDonald's is reintroducing the Grimace Irish Shake.
Oh, the purple one?
No, the green one.
McDonald's made a Grimace video game like a year or so ago that actually was a Game Boy Color ROM of all fucking things.
No, I'm shitting you not. There's actually an angry Irish IRA loving Grimace uncle. I'm
He's
not
telling the
lying.
truth. It was a thing.
And it's come back. And it's only coming
Wait, he's
to
back?
England. He's back.
Maybe the wind is changing if he's back.
He's fucking... I'm Irish, even I'm scared.
You should be.
And just don't start your car.
Or at least check under the seat before you do.
Hey, right.
I actually want to find Beklov the link because the reason why he's only like he actually got discontinued 45 years ago and has only reappeared 45 years now, only in the UK. The reason he got discontinued was because the mascot, the person who wore the mascot costume, basically said British soldiers should die, which, again, I'm English, I think that's fucking funny as shit.
I decided to try to Google Grimace game, and the first two things are a 360 VR game where you're buying the Grimace milkshake, and the next thing is like a horror story of a Grimace being forced to do an advertisement.
Yeah, those are... McDonald's released an actual one like a year or two ago that was... It was a digital game,
I'm
but
not
it was
gonna
an
lie.
actual Game Boy Color ROM. Like, there's some people that have put it on cartridges.
I'm not gonna lie, mint milkshake is technically the tits. Like, fuck vanilla, fuck banana, strawberry I can get behind, chocolate's fine, but mint is probably the best milkshake.
Oh, yeah, the Shamrock.
Oh, here it is. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh, this looks kind of fun, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's just a simple platformer game.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's a Game Boy Color ROM. That's about all that system could run. Chat saying Thai curry is better. I agree. Thai food's actually really good.
And
At
it
least-
doesn't come with warning labels for recalls.
Yeah,
every
at
other
least
month.
Americanized Thai food, where I don't have to worry about, shitting myself to death afterwards. Every time I say ethnic food is good, I'm talking about Americanized stuff made by, third generation people that have learned to wash their hands. Like, I'm not going to Thai to eat their food. Like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, but that's most American food in general.
Just every time I walk by the Indian food section that's made in India, there's a food recall for some reason or another.
Well, look, I've said it before on here, but I mean, I just came from a job for about a year of working at a food plant that hired a lot of Indians, and they had to have signs in the bathroom saying, oh yeah, here's how you use a toilet. Don't stand on the seat. Like
Asia has both style toilets, and they don't have to put those signs up. It's only a certain group of people.
No, it depends on the class of remember that there's like Pokemon classes with these fucking people.
Oh, right, they have that cat. Oh, I heard they're effectively different races because they just don't interbreed at all.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah,
There's
that genetically at least
staunch
that makes
difference.
sense.
Look, can I be honest? You Americans are kind of backdated when it comes to Indian and Chippo. What I call is it the Romany Gypsies that you guys are getting, like the Romany Gypsies? You guys are just getting those guys. You're gonna understand why Europeans fucking hate Gypsies in
The Romanov.
the next year. Oh, those people are fucking atrocious. Like
James.
Gypsies, honestly.
James, I love you to death, man, but please go take a throat lozenge or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go
what's going
gargle
on,
some vodka or something.
This is actually painful to listen to. I feel so bad for you.
You got
I'm
RFK
sorry.
syndrome going bad.
I feel like I have to turn the volume to max, like when I
I was
listen to
trying
RFK.
I was trying to match my beef tallow.
Here's a better idea. If you get a subscription to 11 Labs and make it AI voice for yourself.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Something that works for me when my voice is fucked is just get some strong liquor. You should have some since you're Irish, and gargle it, and you'll feel way better.
I'm fucking drunk right now, and autistic layman just fucking destroyed me. Good night.
Good night.
All right, later.
Oh,
Oh man, he'll be
Hope you get better
fine.
soon, man.
he'll be fine. He'll
He's
live.
not gonna remember this anyways.
Nah.
Chat says Becklop will cry when his town turns into Brampton. I don't think my town's turning into Brampton anytime soon. My town is barely a town. Like, there's no one down here. It's fine. Chat also says bread tubers are already panicking.
Oh yeah,
now that
Vosh
their
is like
USA
e-begging
cash
like
flow
crazy.
stopped, Vouch is already begging his subs to give him super chats and donations.
That's hilarious.
Like crazy. The money's just dried up.
Amazing, isn't it? How suddenly this one government thing is shut down and everyone we hate is out of a job.
You know, my backup plan was to be a bread tuber because you could make millions doing it, but now that's
You
gone.
can.
Well, you could.
Thank God.
I think you might have missed the boat on that one. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, I wasn't struggling for money till recently, and now all the money's gone.
You're like the guy getting into Pogs in the late 90s. It's a little too late.
Or the guy buying Bitcoin now.
It's a little too late for that.
I know a lot about Pogs. I'm something of a Pog champion.
I think I still have my Pog collection, actually.
I
I
had a
think
thing
it's
of
in a drawer somewhere.
I had a thing of Simpsons Pogs. It was like 100-piece set with all the characters that pretty much existed.
I had
at
the
that point.
official. I had the brand that was like the official counterfeit Pogs. At least a couple of those.
The official counterfeit Pogs?
Yes, there was a brand of Pogs that were the official counterfeit Pogs.
Well, Pog was a brand, so not everything. Like some of the other ones were just called caps. Like
Yeah.
But yeah, Pog was a brand specifically.
Yeah. So when you say official counterfeit, you mean like Mega Bloks?
Yeah, basically that was their.
It was a real company, but it was a knockoff product, basically.
Yeah, but they played into it.
Yeah.
All right, how's this for a replacement voice?
I'm drunk and Layman fucking destroyed me. Good night.
I don't know. Sounds a little too well read for an Irishman.
Irish. Let me see if they have Irish voices.
Oh.
I
I'd be
can
glad.
say this. I'm a dirty Mick, so.
Give him a Scottish Scrooge McDuck voice.
Yeah, that'll work.
I'm keeping the money.
Yeah, Pog was like a Hawaiian game because they had some like juice that the caps would pop off on, and then they would stack them up and knock them over with a coin.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
and then like somebody marketed it to the rest of the country.
That's one trend I saw come and go faster than maybe anything else. Like I remember it was
What
like
about-
94, like late 94, early 95. It just came and go in like 6 months times. I went from like everybody had it. There were pop-up Pog kiosks at my mall to all of a sudden it was dead. Like,
I got one for you. I got one better. Fidget spinners.
Oh yeah, fidget spinners.
Oh, I remember when those were everywhere.
They were ubiquitous for a week, and then they were gone.
Yeah, my uncle
I
gave me
remember
2 of them for free when he was trying to sell them, and I lost them.
I remember going to gun shows and there would be like precision machined metal ones, and I'm like, why would I buy this?
I actually have one. I'm not gonna lie.
Of
I
course you
do.
would.
I do like little fidget toys because it helps with the ADD. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
it does. But
I mean,
there's
I
a
don't have
difference
fidget
between
spinner.
that and I'm like I'm doing tricks with. That was what annoyed the fuck out of me. Everyone treated them like yo-yos, and they're just doing obnoxious tricks with them in public, and they're flying off and like launching into other people. It's like knock it off.
Yeah.
See, I'm too autistic to buy like fidget spinners. I go like to antique shows and buy like 1800s pocket watches and shit to fiddle with my hands.
Yeah, I don't have a fidget spinner, but I do have an endlessly folding cube.
Oh, I love those.
No, I just play with a gun. That's what I do.
Well, I usually play with my dick a lot, but I'm not supposed to do that in public. So that's what that judge said. At least.
Well, I looked up the only Irish voices they have, and this is all they can make.
The world is round, and the place which may seem like the end may also be the beginning.
Nah,
this
that's
one.
like a.
And then this one.
That's like a
Love is
leprechaun.
Oh, here it is.
Love is a serious mental disease.
No,
that's
Irish,
like
I guess
a-
I'll-
That's like an American trying to be Irish.
Yeah, I guess that's accents are something Eleven Labs doesn't quite have. I mean, they do have good British accents.
It sounds like
but they don't
Warwick
have any of the
Davis
varied
trying to do
accents.
his leprechaun voice.
I tried to make a
speaking-
bug. I tried to make a Bugs Bunny voice, but it just came out too wacky.
Speaking of AI, I actually just signed up for. Apparently now you can do work from home stuff to train AI models for a lot of tech startups to just like write paragraphs and stuff for them. So if I get approved, I'll put some cash in my pocket and do my part to construct Rocco's
I was
Basilisk.
gonna say, do you just keep typing the N-word at it? Like,
Yeah, that's
I
the
would
plan.
just give it junk data. But yeah, we are effectively going to create the beast with AI. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
people
mean-
want an AI god to rule over them. That's what the left wants. So, and everybody else seems to want it too. So,
Skynet.
Maybe
finally
then there'll
turned.
be. maybe
The thing
then.
for me, the thing with me is like as much as that is a possibility, if not an inevitability, that doesn't mean that there can't be other like there might be the thing that was most okay, backing up. The thing that's most unrealistic to me about like robot doomsday scenarios is that they're all one faction. Like there's no reason that there wouldn't be another faction of AI that might not want to kill people. You know what I mean?
AI doesn't really want stuff. But yeah, I know. what
True.
you mean.
Currently, no. But I'm talking about that down the road kind of, mentality. And the fact that a lot of it has been open source is actually kind of a blessing because it'll mean that there will always be at least some pocket of alternative to the monolithic,
Oh yeah, you could run your own AI at home if you really want to, but
I do that actually. I've done that several times with my crappy decade-old computer. Actually,
do you have programming socks and an I Love Linux T-shirt?
no, but I did just install Linux last week for the first time, and I've been enjoying
you poor
it.
man.
Amazon
No, it's
hasn't
great.
Amazon hasn't brought him his socks yet. He doesn't have Prime. It's gonna take.
No,
weeks.
it's true.
Trust me. So, a lot of people don't like to hear this. Linux is good at hyper-specific use cases and baby's first computer and nothing else.
Yeah,
The
not
novelty
anymore.
wears off pretty quickly.
No, these days actually, it's got a lot more robustness just because of Valve doing the Steam Deck thing.
Well,
Led to them
yeah, Valve is dumping
a lot
tons
of
money.
yeah, they dumped so much money into the Proton what was it compatibility compatibility layer that
It tricks
you can now
Linux into running Windows shit like better
yeah,
than wine.
and it works really well now actually, and I've had zero complaints so far. Even like random indie projects and like games and stuff that are only built for Windows, I put one argument into the launch options and it just works completely fine. I've blown away actually.
Back when I first started exploring Linux as an operating system, it would just do the thing where it shit itself randomly and completely brick your install, and you had to start over.
Yeah, no,
that
it's a lot more stable these days. Mostly thanks to Valve.
That happens.
All right.
You still need programming stocks, though.
Chat says, also with all the hype surrounding new Fantastic Four and Superman movies, the bullshit hero fatigue myth, we Americans love our superheroes and always will as long as the quality is good. I think just in general with movies, you know, if they just make good movies, people will want to go to the movies again. Like,
you know, actually, I was at the theater just the other day, and I saw the Superman trailer, and I thought I was like sitting there kind of dumbfounded because I was like, does this look actually good?
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about it. And the
I'm looking at this trailer and I'm flabbergasted because I'm like, this is a trailer that makes me want to see the movie. What is this?
The only real complaint I've heard about the Superman thing is they're like, oh, Guy Gardner's hair looks stupid. And I'm like, yeah, that's the character. Like,
it's Guy Gardner. Of course his hair looks stupid.
Character notorious for a stupid haircut has a stupid haircut. Like,
more at 11.
I mean, there's a point where there's a market is saturated, but mostly if you tell a story well, people will watch it.
Yeah, there's always market saturation, but at the same time, like, you know, no genre, even if it dies down, completely goes away. And if you make good stuff,
yeah,
certainly the core audience that loves it will go see it, and the general population usually will too. I mean, you know,
honestly, the thing with Superman is we haven't had a real Superman film since what the one where Kevin Spacey was Luthor. Yeah, because none of the Snyder stuff was actually Superman. It was like this weird, not quite Superman thing.
So yeah, I think both of them will probably do good. I think both of them probably will be at least pretty good. And yeah, there's a hype around them because you put out a trailer for something that looks great. You know, where you didn't replace all the characters with black transsexual Muslims in wheelchairs, people will probably want to go see it. Like,
yeah. And Crypto was there
for some reason. That kind of surprised me.
It did until I remembered that it was James Gunn making it, and James Gunn likes the more silly aspects of comic books.
I also like the fact that there's just other superheroes in this movie that clearly aren't the focus.
Yes, I noticed that.
It's just like, yeah, there's other superheroes. Like, it doesn't feel like this movie's going to take any real time to explain them. It's just like, if you're going to see a Superman movie, you're probably fine with accepting the fact that there's other superheroes. Like,
yeah, it's very obviously like, you know, hey, you know what a superhero is, you know. Like, we don't have to have this obligatory like hour buildup of like, this guy's a vigilante and they never once use the word superhero. No, you know what a superhero is. You're at a Superman movie.
Chat says real quick, Weeba Abu says, as a libertarian, you should be pro illegals, Beckloff. Here's the thing with that. I understand the libertarian argument for open borders, and there is definitely a part of me that's sympathetic towards that. And if we lived in a world where every country was relatively first world and relatively free, I think it would probably be a net benefit. But we don't live in that world. And I don't want to compete with slave labor. And I don't want a bunch of people coming in here that don't believe in freedom and intend to destroy it. You know, that's just not the reality. I don't want to compete with... I don't want a bunch of people coming in here and dragging down the fucking wages. I don't want to compete
on a philosophical level. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would love it if
yes, but...
Yeah. I would love to live in a world where that was viable. That would be fantastic. And maybe one day that will be the world. That day isn't today, though.
It will be viable when the entire world is America.
Yeah. And again, even then...
Which is maybe sooner than we think.
That's true. We are eyeing Greenland and Canada pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Although I say
don't.
we take Canada and we don't take the people. We can just keep pushing them north.
Let's take back Mexico and make it great.
But
Just
yeah,
take every
that's-
country, and then we can call the new country Super Earth. We could spread
And
democracy.
then we can go into space in search of other worlds.
Point is, though, again, I get the libertarian argument there. I do, and I'm somewhat sympathetic towards it. But I also don't want a bunch of people coming in here that don't speak the language and want to work for 35 cents a day. Like,
There's also a libertarian counterpoint that if you just allow people to leave their countries and come to here or wherever, you remove the pressures that will change and better a society in theory. Like if everybody who has a problem with their country because it sucks leaves their country, they're never going to put the pressures on that country to change.
yeah, if these people are supposedly such hard workers that can make our country better, then they should go make their country better because it needs it more. So I don't.
Yeah, the Sam Hyde.
Go ahead.
The Sam Hyde videos talking about this, I think, are number one. I think that's the best thing that he ever put out was that Dear Elon video. But number two, I think it's the best summary of why this kind of thing just doesn't work. When he was talking about how we need to go set up a blockade and prevent China from getting any of these brilliant Indians. And it just kind of underscores the ridiculousness of the whole argument, you know?
Oh, I just remembered this old animated video from AV Byte, and it was about Trump. And I have to play it now. It's so wonderful.
I got bored and started thinking like a true entrepreneur. I had made America great again, so why not go greater? So I had us up across the wall, invading all below. All of South America welcomed me. Not one of them said no.
Yeah, I
Did you see where Mexico was like, we can't take all of these people being deported here; it'll destroy Mexico.
Yeah, that's the other thing. These countries.
There was some like pundit, and she's like, "You can't put all of the Mexicans back in Mexico; it'll ruin Mexico."
And the reason for that is a lot of these countries very purposely have been emptying their prisons and their insane asylums on our fucking door.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and it's wild. It's wild to me that is a controversial statement. Because it's like documented, you know, and it's also weird to me that that's even a thing they would bother doing. Because like, wouldn't it be more expensive to ship them all this way, or are you just trying to like save money on the upkeep?
We've been paying on it. We've been paying on it through the NGOs. You see,
I'm not
we pay our
surprised.
taxes and we print it. It goes to USAID, and then USAID gives it to these NGOs, and the NGOs pay for them to travel here and tell them how to get.
Hold up. Are you telling me that the U.S. government has been a racket?
Shocking, I know.
What? I, for one, cannot believe that.
And you know the other thing, just philosophically, like, look, I'm not an anarchist. I believe that there should be a government. I believe we should have a nation, a sovereign nation. I believe it should be a very limited government that exists primarily just to protect our freedom and prosperity. But yes, we should have a government. I'm not an anarchist by any stretch.
I could say
we are
really
a sovereign
spicy
nation,
things.
and as a sovereign nation, we have every right to decide who, if anyone, is allowed in this nation for any reason we deem fit. The access to America, I'm all about human rights, always have been. Way more than a lot of other people on the right. And I can tell you, access to America is not a human right. Too fucking bad. You can come here if we deem fit and not otherwise.
Chat's having like 5 IQ takes.
Yep.
But like, no, you're right. We never had fast food before people flooded into this country.
Yeah, Chat's all here.
That
Like,
was
are you
never
willing
a
to pay?
thing.
Are you willing to pay
And
50
in
bucks
fact,
for
let me-
Wendy's?
it, like,
Here's the thing, though.
Well-
Maybe if like wages actually kept up with inflation, that wouldn't be a fucking problem. You know. Also, every one of these pro-immigration arguments always amounts to one of two things. It's either fuck white people, or it's I want slave labor. And I don't think I don't think you're bigoted or entitled to reject those arguments.
anytime like a YouTuber makes a video about how manufacturing jobs aren't coming back to the U.S. because nobody wants to work them, it gets like massively ratioed, and and they'll like censor the comments and shit because there's lots of people who say yes, I want this job,
Yeah,
I
and
wonder
you know what?
that.
You're not supposed to like those fast food jobs are entry level jobs. They're meant to be held by teenagers or just adults that want a part time job or something like that. Like,
Well, now it's going to be filled by unemployed journalists.
well,
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of
Put
journalists.
the
working
fries
in
in the bag.
yeah, Lindsay. I asked for spicy nuggets. Okay, these are just regular nuggets. I'm
Have
taking
any
them
of
back.
you ordered from a kiosk and like they don't give you your drink? Am I the only one that happens to?
Oh yeah, you got to go up to the counter anyways to get the cup. Like,
Well, they will like give me my order and then they won't bother giving me my drink. I have to ask for it like every time.
I'm glad I don't have to use a kiosk.
I never do. I just go up to the counter, and I'll smack the counter and be like, "Hello." Like,
I was seeing where like self checkout actually costs more than paying somebody now, just in software maintenance.
you know, I don't
Nice.
mind. I don't mind self checkout for quick things. Like if I'm in the grocery store and I'm picking up a couple things, self checkout's great. Self checkout works good as an express lane. But when you have motherfuckers
Exactly.
bringing a whole cart full of stuff up to it, it's like, what are you doing with yourself?
Yeah. No, back when it was first introduced, it was the express lane. It was like I remember it used to say at Walmart, 20 items or fewer or whatever, and that was the only thing that was allowed for self checkout because it makes sense, but this whole problem, right, it comes down to the way that the stock market works, in my opinion, which might sound like a left
real quick,
turn, but it's
It's
the
literally
exponential thing.
Real quick, Liam Gray
It's-
just sent me something where he asked if this is real, and it's an article talking about Donald Trump taking away Joe Biden's security clearance, and yes, that's
It's real.
And also, Joe Biden
Yes.
did that to Trump first, so
Yes.
suck a dick, Joe.
Yeah, this is justified in payback.
Yeah, but
I
I love this. I love that he's doing this shit. Like this is what I wanted him to do the first time. I wanted Hillary Clinton in
Exactly.
jail and shit. Like I didn't. The first time, I actually think Trump was a pretty good president. His last year was a disaster. A lot of that wasn't his
It
fault,
was.
but he kind of let it happen. Point is, though,
Mhm.
for the most part, he was a good president, but it was too late for that. I didn't vote for him to be president. I voted for him to be a reckoning. I voted him for
Yeah.
to go in there with the Bane mask and crash the government with.
Well,
no
you remember
survivors.
having conversations with conservatives. They didn't want to burn it down yet either.
Yeah, they
I
weren't
mean, a
ready
lot
for
of
that.
them
I
still
guess.
don't. A lot of them
You know
still
what,
don't,
they-
but then when Biden got in there and they were just being absolutely crushed into paste, they're
Yeah.
like, you know what? Fuck it. I want the FBI destroyed.
You know,
Screw it.
I don't think Biden is the worst president ever, like a lot of them say. Because I look at like Bush.
No,
with his
that would be
Patriot
Jimmy
Act.
Carter.
I look at Bush with his Patriot Act. I look at Obama with like cash for clunkers, and I'm like, these guys did a lot more damage. That said, though, Biden was probably our most humiliating president.
Yes.
That's what really did it.
Yes.
It
was
wasn't
the
just that
longest
things
I
got
told you
bad.
so, and
It was that we were humiliated by it.
we were all expected to believe that he was competent until he got up on that stage for debate.
Yeah.
And then
Uh-huh.
suddenly we could just recognize, yeah, this man is like far beyond the judgment of us at this point. It's just God who can judge him.
And they stole it. I mean, and look, that turned out to be their downfall. If they'd have just let Trump have his second term, he would have just fucked around for 4 years and done nothing.
He would have tried to play nice. He
And we would have
tried
had
to
no
give
successor.
orders and be like, "You work for me," and he wouldn't do anything. And now he's in there and he's like, "I don't give a fuck. You're going to do as I say, or you're gone."
And by the way,
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling JD Vance at first because when he first got announced, I looked up some old interview with Charlie Kirk, and he sucked. He sucked. He was just everything wrong with conservatism, and that's not the man
Yep.
he is anymore. And I quickly saw,
No.
he's a changed man now, and I like
Yeah,
him
I'm
now.
very, very pleasantly surprised with Vance, honestly. Did you see the thing where they were trying to smear him because he mentioned that he plays Magic and like his favorite card had like the certain effect, and they were trying to say it was anti-Semitic or whatever because of the name of the card? It was
I think that
It's
was the
the
first time
funniest
many
thing.
normies knew what Magic was.
I know. And
I
it
think
was
what
just
changed
it was
him-
the funniest thing.
I think what changed him, and this is based on what I've heard him say in interviews, he says he was vax injured. He doesn't go into details about exactly what he means by that, but I think that woke him up to a way, because I mean he was a typical conservative, especially ex-military conservative, where he just believed in the system and authority and order and
Yeah.
all this other shit to a fault, and now he kind of had his eyes open, and it shows.
Yep.
You know what gets me about the vax injury stuff is vaccines have never been 100% safe. They have a list of side effects and possible downsides on the packaging. But you were never allowed to question that. Never. You were an idiot.
Also, vaccines used to be something you took that prevented you from getting a disease. I don't know what the fuck this is, but it doesn't meet the definition of a vaccine.
That was literally just research. Everybody who took it was a guinea pig. That's it.
Yeah, well, it's very telling that Biden did with his stupid preemptive pardons did Fauci. That's like you that was like a big neon sign saying, "Yeah, we did it." Like,
well, I mean, let's be real. Fauci is guilty of crimes against humanity. I mean, he is guilty of supervillain levels crimes. He unleashed a virus that killed millions of people and then used it as an excuse to gain all sorts of power. And it's not even the first time he's done it.
I know. That's the thing.
He literally did experiments where he had fleas eat dogs to death. And it's like, what are you trying to figure out scientifically? That dogs don't like to be eaten to death? Like,
there's
that's asking you why you like Vance now. We technically didn't get there. We do.
The YouTube channel Run Don't Walk Productions actually did a video series talking about the pardons, and he reminded us, you do know that before the Biden pardons were made, the media was so concerned about Trump giving out family pardons. And like, oh wait, they're totally double standard again.
By the way, from what I understand, these pardons don't apply to state level shit. So there are some states that are considering bringing up charges against IM. And I would be happy to send him to any other country that is looking to press charges.
Unintelligent Design says one of the listed side effects on their official website was death. They had to have death as a side effect. I showed people, they still went and did it, and a bunch of folks got sick. I can't believe YouTube let you say that.
There was an acne medicine in the 2000s, and I just remember this because of the lawsuit. There was a big class action lawsuit that literally like cured up your acne, but then your asshole fell out. Like you just had like the worst Crohn's disease imaginable. Basically, your whole fucking asshole like prolapsed out of your body every time you shit. And you're just shitting yourself all the time. It's like, wow, my acne cleared up, but I have a new problem. And every time I saw that, I'm like, I'm not big on frivolous lawsuits, but whatever money those people are asking for, give them more.
I didn't know acne made medicine. They really did make everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone now, right? Or do they still exist?
Oh, I don't know.
I think they're gone now. I don't think acne still exists anymore.
But yeah.
No, they still got at least one customer with that coyote.
Yeah, Fauci should probably be in prison the rest of his days. Oh, and here's another fun thing I learned watching the confirmation hearings. So they asked RFK, like, do you believe that Lyme disease is a man-made virus? And he said, yeah, I believe I have said that. And I'm like, wait, is that a thing? And I look it up, and yeah, it's probably a man-made virus.
Yeah, it's been a conspiracy for a while that it possibly leaked from the lab because when they first started doing research, they immediately targeted that area to collect ticks. So, yeah, maybe.
I mean, let me put it this way. It's not unreasonable to believe it based on absolutely confirmed by normie sources evidence.
You see, what really gets me, though, is a lot of this stuff is just published. You can just go and read it, but nobody actually...
I know, but you're a crazy person if you look it up and point at it.
Well, it is set up in such a way that if you read it, it does sound crazy.
Well, remember the JonTron bit where he's like, what made you start to believe this conspiracy theory? And he's like, well, the people kept saying it on TV that they were going to do
it. Yeah, right.
So this is why. Okay, so everybody says that we're the world's ran by satanic pedophiles. I don't know about the pedophile part. Probably wouldn't doubt it. But a lot of this stuff is actually based in Satanism, like actual Satanism, not the bullshit evangelicals think is Satanism. Because an evangelical thinks Satanism is an aesthetic, like cloven hooves and pentagram and shit. No, it's actually got like rules and tenets and things way you do things.
It's not
like
here.
It's all about inversions.
Getting you to agree to and fund your own destruction is a big part of the left-hand path.
Satanism isn't nearly as fun as evangelicals act like it is.
It's
They
it's
make it
actually
sound like
somewhat-
it's just smoking weed and having orgies, but it's actually nowhere
Yeah,
near
no,
that.
it's actually like
That's
it's like
because,
clinical.
Yeah, it's clinical. So the main pillar of Satanism is surpassing God, or the idea of God if you're an atheist, but it's actually empatheistic. They don't care if there is a God.
There
And
must
there's
be a
two
problem with
paths. There's two paths. There's the
Lunch.
left-hand path, which is way more common, which is basically burn everything down and rule over the ashes. And then there's the right-hand path, which is Jordan Peterson. He used to be a part of the Satanic Church, by the way. He's right-hand path Satan.
Really?
Yeah, he's admitted to. I don't know if he still is, but he used to be.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Jesus?
Look, all I know is
That's
he
why
dresses
he gets
like
all
Two-Face.
wishy-washy. Yeah, he's nuts, but that's besides the point.
Illustrator tips $10 on Super Chat. Thank you very much for that. And says I meant to give you this last stream. Thank you very much. That's keeping my unemployed ass alive right now.
You are splitting that tonight, right?
Yes, it's was it Hadron's head? It's customary to share Super Chat. It's customary in the
I'll put my
religion I
hand
made
out.
up.
I'll put my tin cup out. I'll rattle it.
I want to believe that this clip came from the Washington D.C. when the COVID virus broke out.
There must be a problem with our new flagship product.
The herbal throat lozenges? I told them at the rollout meeting that anthrax was a bacteria, not an herb. No, you didn't. I was thinking it pretty hard.
Dilbert was pretty funny.
Yeah, that show was great. Too bad that like the creator's nuts now, but you know.
You know what?
Isn't
the
that a
thing
good thing?
is, at the time, I didn't think Dilbert was that great. It's just the TV sucks so bad now that the shows that never even made it are better than like what 90% of the stuff is now.
Dilbert is hilarious if you are an engineer or worked in an office.
See, Dilbert's
Or,
one of those
Tetrax.
though I missed when it was on like network TV, and I didn't catch it till like Adult Swim started rerunning it. Like I caught so many like adult animated shows that I just never heard of till Adult Swim started rerunning them. I don't even know if Adult Swim's still around. I don't have regular TV anymore. I just have the streaming service.
They are. They're still around.
I don't know what they're doing.
What do you
now.
think's making them their money?
I mean, I guess yeah, they're still making Rick and Morty and probably other things. I don't know.
Oh right, Rick and Morty's still a show.
Is it?
Unfortunately.
Why?
Yep, still being made.
I don't know what
I'm
else
guessing
they
it's kinda
have.
like-
though.
I'm
I
guess-
think Robot
I'm-
Chicken is still going on.
The bar
I think it's
to
kinda
making
like
it a
the-
show is pretty low.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like Family Guy. The creators don't really have anything else to do, so they just keep making it.
Well, I mean,
don't think
Family Guy
anybody who started
literally.
the show is still there.
Seth MacFarlane basically wants Family Guy to fail. It just he can't. Contractually, he has to keep making it. You know, but I mean, he just wants
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, he wants to go do Orville more.
Yeah, he wants to do more Orville, but he's stuck doing Family Guy and Ted.
Oh yeah, the Adult Swim is where I have the Smiling Friends. That's their big
Oh,
thing
that's
right now.
right. That show
Yeah,
rules.
Snarly Friends.
I do love that show.
Yeah,
That show's
Oni
good.
Oni is an OG internet animator, and to see him get that level of mainstream success
And I
just
love
fills
that
my
he
heart
just
with
he
joy.
puts YouTubers in there all the time, and if they're
Yes.
animated guys,
He
he
put-
just uses their animation style. Cause
You know he put Chris Chan in?
did he?
What?
You did?
Yes. Chris Chan has a
Actual
cameo
Chris
in
Chan or
Smiling
just
Friends.
referenced him?
Actual Chris Chan.
No.
It's incredible. It's true.
No.
Oh, it's great.
The show's cursed
Oh.
now.
Oh,
Was Chris
hang on.
Chan the
Oh, it
blackface
turns out-
demon?
Apparently, there's some other original programming also includes My Adventures with Superman. Oh no.
Oh god,
And,
that thing.
Although there's some good news, they're also doing the Common Side Effects show.
Chat
Oh,
says
I'm sorry. No. I was misremembering. This was from an interview that Oni gave. They tried to get Chris Chan
Oh, okay.
on
Okay.
as a cameo.
Okay.
He did not. He the only reason they didn't is because he just never replied with his recording.
Well, Chris Chan probably just assumed it was fake, like every message he gets all the time.
Are you kidding me? He assumes everything he gets is real. That's his whole problem.
By the way, yes,
Remember the whole
Brown
I'm Miyamoto
is a Dilbert
thing?
show. Go watch it.
Chat says I didn't realize there was a Dilbert animated show. It was only you should check it out. It's probably free on like Tubi or something.
Question
It was
is,
on
what
Hulu
came
for free.
first, Ranch or Cool Ranch?
I would assume just regular ranch.
Yeah, never mind.
Though in all fairness, I've never seen
Reference
regular
missed.
ranch Doritos.
There's like 5 different flavors of autism in this channel right now. You'll have to be specific.
It's true. Okay, so what I'm referencing is a parody animation of Dilbert where he goes on a mass shooting spree, and that's like what he asks his coworkers before he shoots them, and if they get it, because he's talking about Doritos specifically. If they get it wrong and they say ranch instead of Cool Ranch, he just pulls the trigger.
It's always the quiet ones.
Yes.
Oh no.
That show really wasn't afraid to cover any topic on its day, though. That was what's great about it.
Well, but that was a parody. That wasn't an actual Dilbert episode.
No, I mean Dilbert. No, not the parody. No, that he wouldn't make that.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. Let's not. I've already spread misinformation once this stream. Let's not do it again.
Layman, wasn't there one episode we watched where there was like 12 on-screen deaths?
I mean, the first episode is dozens of deaths, but I don't remember the 12 deaths particularly.
We were watching an episode and enough people died. We just started taking count. I think we got to 12 on screen. We didn't count off screen deaths.
Oh, here we go. Here's a classic Dilbert.
Now, this isn't easy for either of us, but I have to ask you to take your huge executive severance package and go find a higher paying job at another company. This is barbaric. I've given my soul to this company.
And you see a wall of literal souls.
Let's see. I'm checking out chat here. Unintelligent Design says he was going to put actual Christian in, but then Christian raped his mom. I don't know. That might have had something to do with it. I'll never forget that day that Friday that I woke up to like 9 different people sending me a bunch of messages. Dude, did you see Christian raped his mom?
I feel sorry for normie internet that had to learn about Christian.
I don't.
It's just like, what a thing to wake up to. Like, dude, Christian fucked his mom. I'm like, okay, I'm just waking up.
In the age of the internet, I fear that the normie is going to become an endangered species.
Maybe.
I did a video where I took one of my normie friends and I sat him down and I just explained Christian to him for an hour.
And he didn't kill himself?
He was just like, Jesus Christ.
Hey, you're going to need Jesus after that.
Amen.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of internet, did you see Zoomers are getting off the internet?
Good. For the love of God,
Good.
let's go
And
outside.
you'll love this even more. They have started going to malls.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, yes.
Maybe they'll
the world is healing.
Maybe
The
they'll
world
eventually
is
kiss a girl.
The next thing we're going to find out about is they're going to talk to girls.
That's the next step. Like, for the love of God.
And then they'll reproduce at 40 and make super autists.
Oh, dear.
You know what? I'm gonna go to the food court for lunch tomorrow. I'm gonna do that.
And you're going to sample your local mall and just count people with broccoli.
My mall is in here in Lancaster is actually pretty good, and it's like stayed alive primarily because they put in a round 1 where the Sears used to be, which is this big arcade that also has a bar and it has a bowling alley and it has like
it's like a Dave and Buster's type thing.
Yeah, and it has one of those like jump like trampoline fun zones for kids and shit.
Oh, cool.
It doesn't have a full restaurant like Dave and Buster, but you can get a decent amount of food at the bar, and it's very nice. The games in there are nice.
Arizona has a place called Level Up, and they have all the classic arcade games on there. You just buy quarters and go nuts.
Well, we have a local place that has a bunch. It's like you pay to be in there by the hour, but all the machines are free to play.
Ah,
see, that's the way to do it. That's good.
But yeah,
Yeah,
there's
the
a
one by me
Ghostbusters
went out
machine at
before.
round 1 that a light gun game that I legitimately love.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a trend. They're also getting flip phones.
Good, man. They need to unplug. Like, they're too saturated in the fucking internet, man.
Their parents gave them iPads when they were toddlers. They were critically internet poisoned.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, I'm
They were
not
getting
blaming them
They're
for
getting
that,
spawn
but-
camped.
you know. But
Yeah.
look,
I
man,
mean,
I
my
didn't have
generation grew
internet
up without
access.
the internets.
I didn't have internet access till I was like 17. Okay, and that was AOL dial-up shit. So
Indeed.
When I was a
I
kid,
just-
I went into the woods. That's what I did.
I pray that the nostalgia and vaporwave stuff continues to spread in popularity, so we get like old school internet as a thing again. I miss message boards. I miss IRC, even though Discord is kind of an IRC client basically, but still, it's just.
I remember the first time I started going online, and you'd ask a question, and people gave you real answers.
I know, right?
You would
Yeah.
search, I need this manual from obscure appliance, and they would just come up in the first result.
Yep.
You didn't have to rely on the Internet Archive for literally fucking everything.
Mm-hmm. In shitification.
I miss like the amount of fan sites I used to see online in like the 2000s internet. There was a site called Sam Ruby, which this guy named after his two dogs, but it was a Spider-Man fan site. Had
Angel Fire. Somebody in chat just said Angel Fire. Yes.
It had every
Sorry.
Spider-Man comic listed with huge scans of most of the covers. And when I say every Spider-Man comic, I mean like if there was an issue of Fantastic Four where he swung by in the background, that's listed. Like everything. And I mean huge
exhaustive
like
list.
reviews of half of the like of almost every key issue you can imagine. And that's just like one example. And like I remember a couple years ago I was trying to find out like what year this one Godzilla LCD game came out, just to researching it for something. And there were eBay listings that had two different things, and I'm like, man, like 10 years ago I'd be able to find some site run by an autist called like GodzillaStomps.com or something that would just list every even bootleg merchandise that ever
Those
fucking
sites are
existed.
still around, but Google won't find them. So you
Yeah,
have
you
to,
can't find
out
shit
it.
in search engines.
You have to
anymore.
find them from other people, and then you'll go to them, and they're like, they still look like they were made in the 90s, and they load like instantaneously.
Yeah. You can
It's
find a lot of
that
old
or-
school like web rings and things.
The only other way I found websites like that is if you're into something super obscure, then it's like the only result that pops up. But
Yeah.
I
I
remember
got really excited recently when I
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, hang on.
Okay.
I mean,
I got really
even official
Oh.
sites. Like I remember, like 2004, NinjaTurtles.com. You could go there, and it's listing like all the toys they ever made. You could read the old black and white comics for free, and it's like now if you go to NinjaTurtles.com, it just takes you to Nickelodeon's website. Like
yeah,
it's-
Lane.
like there's just even official websites used to be better.
I got really excited recently because I discovered something called NeoCities, which was like, obviously GeoCities, but like updated, and you can make your own stuff now and everything. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And it's like, it's 90% just gay stuff. Like I mean, actual like
just gay porn.
sexual deviancy, LGBTQ
I was
plus.
gonna ask,
No,
do you
not
mean,
even.
like, hookups or like
No, I mean like literally, it's about like homosexuality and transgenderism and all the crap.
Oh, it's
and I'm
one
like,
of those guys.
it's not even like a site. It's just for some reason the people who use the service, like 90% of it is people like that. And like
trans rights 50 times.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like,
I know the type. They're
man,
super annoying.
I know that the whole point is to express yourself and to have a page that's all about who you are and everything. But like, is there
You don't
nothing more
understand.
interesting to you
All I
about
am
yourself?
is my sexuality. And
Yeah,
that's why I
exactly.
tell
That's-
everybody. I have no other
it's so-
personality.
It's just Kuming 24/7.
Right. Like it's not it's that's what gets me so upset is that like, yeah, homosexuality is a thing that afflicts certain people, but like there's a sickeningly large amount of it these days that's not actually like, hey, this is a preference that I have. This is just I beat off too many times and now this is what I've fallen into because I just built up a habit. You know what I mean? Like there's people who are kind
I
of
noticed this on a lot of like leftists is like their whole identity is just their sexuality bullshit.
yeah.
And I don't get that. It's like there's nothing else to your life. Is that it? Are you a simple amoeba?
And apparently, yes.
Well, that's apparently the case. When Trump won, a lot of the meme groups I'm in just went no politics for like a week, and it was great. The quality of the memes drastically improved. There was no annoying posts. I wish that was all year.
I'm still amazed at the amount of like these leftists that like Trump won, and you'd think it was like Rick Santorum that won or something. Like he's gonna outlaw being gay and all this other stuff, and it's like the only social conservative thing Trump's doing is like we're not gonna cut little kids' dicks off, or we're not gonna have boys and girls sports. Like that's it.
But he also pardoned a bunch of people who got arrested for quote unquote protesting abortion clinics. Like
Sure,
they were
fine,
there.
but he pardoned a whole bunch of right-wing political prisoners across the board. Like,
Yeah, well, some of those people were left wing too. Apparently, there's anti.
cool. You have the right to protest. If you ain't, if you're not committing crimes, you shouldn't be thrown in fucking jail for protesting. Period. Like,
Yeah. But they were literally people who just existed in space and were arrested. So
Yeah,
that's
so-
the kind of people he was pardoning.
but no, the way they talk about this, like all their Handmaid Tale dumb bullshit like that, it's like, look, man, there's a lot of elements on the right I don't like along those lines, but I'm more of a freedom-minded person. I don't want the government to be the bedroom police or any shit like that. But that's nothing. Trump's Republican Party is nothing like that.
It would
It's not
take
even really
a monumental.
anti-abortion. He's just like, it's a state issue. Whatever, I don't care.
It would take a monumental force for conservatives to hold women even slightly accountable. I don't think they're in risk of anything right now. The left and right both agree women are not capable of taking responsibility for their actions.
I don't know where
Isn't it wild?
I don't know where this shit came from on the left, though. That they're like, Trump's going to do this, that. And it's like, he's never said any of that. He's never, like, no one even around him has said any of that.
I'll tell you where this came from, Bechtloff. They want it to be true. Because
It's
then
true.
they
It's
have
their
a villain.
fetish.
Then they have
Well-
a villain to fight, and they could be a hero.
I
And
assumed
also,
it was a sexual
there's
fetish,
also-
but you assume it's a villain. Okay.
Either that
Yeah,
or they're
and
lazy and they forgot to update their script.
It's 50-50. I want to be a hero, and please step on me harder. That's that's where it's coming from, if you ask me.
Much like how you, Chris, get off when a woman puts her stiletto into your thigh. They get off on being oppressed. It's their whole deal.
Yeah.
I guess, man. I don't.
Yeah, the internet would explain something like that.
Well, I just assume since their whole identity is their sexuality, that's the same case with the handmaid tale stuff.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of it is. And, I feel like part of the reason that this shit has gotten so unhealthy with a lot of these people, where it's like that's their whole fucking identity, is that there's like a weird sort of Puritan streak along the left too, where it's like, they have all these sexualities, but they don't actually have fucking sex. You know what I mean? Like they'll run their mouth about gay shit, but they'll cry if there's a love scene in a movie.
It's called
they're puritanical and degenerate at the same time.
Yeah, they're somehow they're somehow sanitized but not wholesome.
Well, it comes back to that whole Satanism thing, right? It's an inversion.
I mean,
it's Puritanism, but for the opposite direction.
Like every time you talk about like, oh, I want Laura Croft to have big titties, or I don't want April O'Neil to be ugly, fat, and black. They're like, why don't you just watch porn? And I'm like, maybe we could have some things that are sexy that aren't just porn. Could we maybe do that? Wouldn't that be a healthy fucking society?
They
where
go
we
on
like
about
looking at pretty girls.
They go on about representation, but they don't want women with large breasts to be represented. It's a travesty.
No, they all have to look like dudes.
What is a woman with double D boobs who doesn't fit anywhere in society gonna think if she has no representation in video games?
They don't want hot ginger girls.
Laura Croft shows women with double D breasts that they too can be strong and athletic.
But I mean, seriously though, like, why? It's almost fascinating that they took all the worst parts of the religious right with none of the virtue. Like, I'm almost not sure how you managed to do that.
I don't know how many people here are James Lindsay fans, but he goes on to endless detailing about how this whole inversion stuff is like a bizarre interpretation of a Gnostic cult demiurge. It's like it's insane because they believe that all of reality is a system against them and they have to fight against it some way, even if it's self-contradictory.
I think one of the funniest things is when I say it's funny, but it's kind of sad too if you really think about it. But so many of these people that have they're basically autistic and they have a porn addiction, so they think they're trans, and then they cut their fucking balls off. And now they have no sex drive because their balls are gone. And that's how that works. And, you basically sacrificed everything about your life on the altar of your sexuality. And now you have nothing. Like, you don't even have the thing you sold your soul for.
But Dyklov, you don't understand. The evil capitalist society wants you to have sex and have kids. So don't do it.
I prefer Odin's favorite Gooners theory that it's a suicide cult.
Yeah.
I mean, man, in a way, I can't believe Autist came up.
I mean, the left isn't even.
I knew he.
The left isn't even good at being hedonist anymore.
Yeah, no. You can be horny all the time, but you can never actually fuck.
So sad.
They have sexuality, but they don't have sex.
You know what? I wonder. That actually gives me a thought. I wonder if there's some kind of psychological effect of I don't know, like they never want to actually go over the edge of anything. They always want to be in the anticipation stage.
Well,
because that kind of seems like to line up with a lot of things. Because they never want to actually get the rights for XYZ minority. They want to fight for them.
I think a lot of it is also they don't want to do anything real. I mean, and it's kind of on a grading scale, but I mean, I was, not to sound like a boomer, but I'm damn near the last generation that got to go outside and play.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids, especially the Zoomers, they were helicopter parented their whole fucking life. They were never allowed to do anything. I mean,
they didn't develop an imagination because they had a screen in front of their face.
Yeah, they never played. They were just entertained their whole fucking life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, someone in chat mentioned he saw kids playing and talking without phones, and truly, it is an amazing sight.
It's the Simpson episode of Itchy and Scratchy all over again. Oh wow! Do you remember that one?
Yeah, good old classics.
Too old for me.
I'm glad that they canceled The Simpsons after 10 years and didn't just keep it shambling on forever.
Yeah, that would have been a shame.
Yeah, that would have been terrible, man. But no, I think that's part of it. I think they just never went the fuck outside. I mean, good God.
I had to teach a Zoomer at work.
I was talking to Forney on Twitter, and he kind of had something about, I think Dan Baltic on Twitter started it, but he was saying millennials and Gen Xers, we had fucking fun in ways that Zoomers can't even imagine, and
yeah.
And I shared something on there where I was like, yeah, I got a fucking 3-way before I was done high school, and I wasn't even good with women, and some of these Zoomers were just fucking pissed. Now, some of it's because they're trads and they're like, you're degenerate. And I'm like, that's fucking cope, bro. It's cope.
You are a degenerate.
I am, but but you're also not supposed to be 25 and never kissed a girl, dude.
Yeah, I'm right here, man.
But no, seriously, none of these people, they don't have any stories of how they got in trouble or how they, I skipped half my fucking senior year. I don't know why they fucking let me graduate, to be honest. But none of these Zoomers did anything like that. My God, you missed one day and they're on the horn with your parents, and the truancy officers are tracking your cell phone.
Yeah.
Is that a thing they do now? Probably.
Yeah, I believe it is, actually. I know in some areas in this country they'll do that. I think maybe they have to get the parents' permission or something. I don't know. But soon they won't have to do that in
California. Oh, they definitely did that in California with Kamala Harris.
Back on the politics,
they'll give you
one of the things I hope
misdemeanor.
Is that they have to actually get a warrant to buy your geo data and stuff from your phone. They can't just go to the company and be like, yeah, we'd like to purchase this data. Because we can totally just look at it without a warrant.
But you know what they'll do these days, I bet the school will give you a laptop or a device for your homework, and then they're tracking you for 24 hours.
There is
Yep.
software for that. Yep.
Yeah,
They know what
just
kind
go
of
ahead and
degenerate
put
shit
this
you look
app
at.
on your phone for your homework, and don't read the fucking don't read the terms of service or nothing.
That did actually come to
Mhm.
think of it, when the homeschooling thing happened under COVID, that software does keep track of what you're doing. Some of
Oh
it
yeah,
was
years ago I was actually volunteering. Like a few years ago, I was actually volunteering at this remedial math class, and all the work was online. Like that's a great way to track kids' data.
Well, Facebook says it has the right to look through your entire hard drive and like all of the tabs you have open. So I'm sure they're doing
Yeah.
something similar. Maybe I should get like a clean laptop and wipe it and then apply through jobs that way. Maybe the reason I'm not getting hired is they know what kind of porn I look at.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I mean, it's just normal these days. Come on.
Yeah, don't forget to tell them you're gay.
Oh yeah, there you go.
No, being gay isn't enough anymore. That's why a lot of gay guys have switched to the right, because there's no benefits.
I'm a lesbian trapped in a man's body. Will that work?
I'm double
There you go.
trans.
That could be trans.
Yeah, I'm non-binary, so I don't have to do anything.
For that. That's the lowest effort.
I mean, aren't they all low effort anyway?
Yeah,
Some
but
of them are
some are lower than others.
I mean, look, some of these trannies put a little bit of effort into it. Some don't. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Blair White put
To
a lot
use
of
the
Yeah, Blair White's a lot more convincing an illusion than Chris Chan ever was. Okay.
oh Lord.
And ever will be. Oh.
This stream's getting deleted.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
at least that dude put some effort into it. That's all I'm saying. Got to respect the craft.
I'm on the naughty list or something for YouTube. I have to get really creative when I put chats in.
Chat says the irony that Zoomers are going to be the ones to make malls great again. I have to imagine that there's going to be a huge backlash. Like the way they were
You know
raised.
what?
Look, Zoomers are annoying,
I don't-
and I love to,
Yeah.
to bitch at them, but I also feel bad for them because the way they were raised is fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like,
used
yeah,
to
I-
feel
I was
bad
gonna
for
say, I
them,
don't
but
think
when you
it-
get told "fuck you" like 50 times in a conversation and how much they hate you, you know, that kind of just goes away and you don't care anymore.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that I don't think it's actually ironic at all, but for the exact reasons you just said, Chris. It's the opposite of how they were raised, which is, you know, generally
Yeah,
how
I
these
mean-
things work.
Yeah, generally the history of humanity is one generation overcorrecting for the mistakes of their parents. on and
Well,
on for eternity.
Hopefully they'll. It's a bit late, but hopefully they'll. Actually, come to think of it, I have noticed like IRL Zoomers have become a lot less annoying. So maybe they're learning to be adults now. It's a bit late.
Yeah, they're getting to that age.
I think the really
better.
young Zoomers crossing into Gen Alpha a bit, wherever you draw the line, but the ones that like just got out of high school, they're pissed. Like a lot of them, like
Yeah.
when you couldn't have your senior prom because of a fucking cold, you're not happy with shit anymore. You know, I mean, all these
Mhm.
Doge guys are like 19 and 20. You know what I mean? They're young Zoomers. You know. And yeah, they're
Make it
yeah.
super
If you know, I couldn't go to my graduation because you know, even though I was the valedictorian because you know there was a bad cold. You're ready to burn it down, like fuck these people and everything they brought on us.
Oh, I crave vengeance.
But yeah, I see a big backlash against that. I see, you know, some of the guys I know that you know my age and have kids and all, they, you know, they don't let them have the smartphone. They don't let them have all the fucking screen time.
They shouldn't have a smartphone.
No.
They shouldn't have internet access. Arguably, like 18, but like 16, I could see. But
I mean,
like
I
they need to
understand
be
giving it-
developed.
I understand giving a kid a flip phone because landlines just don't fucking exist anymore.
Yeah,
but
they have
that's it.
those.
You know, especially for a young kid. You know, like my buddy
they
tells
should have
me,
a phone,
and
but they should.
he's
have
not
it.
even forcing the issue, but he's like most of the stuff his kid watches on streaming and shit is just older cartoons. You know, he liked the Mario
Mhm.
movie, so he watches the Mario show from the like late '80s and like.
I'm
that
just
kind
so
of shit.
tired of listening to parents talking about like my 10-year-old looks at porn, and I'm like, why do you have your 10-year-old
Yeah,
online?
like you could just stop him.
What the
like-
fuck, lady? Have you
Yeah,
considered
my
that
kids will have nothing but.
there's an adult that could step in before the government?
Look,
and
man,
they're
I
you.
understand that kids will sneak around you sometimes. Like I always say, you know, if I had a kid, we'd have one computer in the family room, and that would be the internet access. And I know when a kid's 12 or 13, he'll probably sneak down there while I'm asleep and, you know, manage to get around it and hide his tracks and all. But whatever, kids get into a little bit of trouble.
But he's gonna have to. He's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
have to
the
get
point.
around it.
He's going
That's
to have
the
to work
point.
for it. He's not going to have a porn addiction by the time he's 15 because he just
Yeah,
had
my-
an endless
yeah.
stream of it.
My kids will have nothing but the original Warner Brothers cartoons, to which they'll be happily exposed to things that I was never exposed to, like the Confederate flag and blackface.
Oh, they were still running that shit when I was a kid, man. I remember it was either
Oh.
TBS or TNT had like a 3-hour block of old Golden Age cartoons, and it was like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry and even like some fucking Woody Woodpecker and Popeye and shit. And that stuff would run for like 3 hours a day, and they didn't care back then. They were just like, you know, the Bugs Bunny where it's like the African cannibals and shit.
Oh
Yeah, I remember when Cartoon Network used to have June bugs.
Oh, like when I first discovered like one of the first censored portions of the cartoons, it was when Bugs Bunny was going to the South and he disguised himself as a slave.
They still played fucking Boscow Willie cartoons when I was a kid. And that was a black guy that was so horribly drawn that as a kid I legitimately thought he was a monkey.
Anyway, it was somebody set up as the guard, and he says, "You traitor!" And then Bugs Bunny throws him a whip and says, "Oh, please, master, don't have my towel bonnet. No, sir, no."
I liked when the dynamite would explode in their face, and then they're just obviously in blackface, and they got like the mammy hair and shit. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh.
We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna make blackface great again. Because it was funny. We were fine with it up until like into the 2000s. You know, Jimmy Kimmel might cry about what a feminist he is on TV right now, but I remember when he was in full body blackface playing Karl Malone on The Man Show. That wasn't that long ago, Jimmy. It's not like that was the 1940s. All right?
Yeah, wait a minute. Are we going to get
That was
like,
the 21st century still, Jimmy. All right?
Can we have our black mascots back? We have Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
They
Can
come
we
back?
have our Indian mascots that Indian people fucking created?
Yeah.
Can we give the Indian back to the land of lakes?
Yeah, we got rid of the
they-
native, but
they
kept the
literally-
land.
I know. Yeah. It's like, do you not realize how much worse this makes it look? It baffles me. The thing that baffles me is how depicting anything at all has become insulting. It's like this iconoclastic Islamic thing where you can't depict the prophet. You know?
Well, and
Well,
I've
the
been
thing of it
seeing
is
this
like
for,
Aunt Jemima.
I've been seeing this
Aunt
for
Jemima
20
was
years,
an actual
but
person at one point.
think of how leftists respond anytime like rape or sexual assault is depicted. Like
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a scene, I assume, if they're adapting it faithfully, in Invincible, where he's raped by a female Virtualite to get his seed, right? And it's a traumatic moment, and it's handled with weight. But I bet you everybody that's cool with like literal thousands of people being shown murdered, like brutally murdered in that show is going to be like, this is too far. Oh my god! Like. I remember in the 2000s, there was like a big story in DC, Identity Crisis, that featured a rape or a sexual assault. And everybody's like, this is terrible. And I'm like, a shitbag villain did a shitbag thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like it was portrayed
Speaking
like,
of-
it's not like he was raping Sue Digby and Batman showed up and go, based. Like, that didn't
Yeah.
happen, okay?
Speaking of this kind of hysteria, you know something else that was given a lot of U.S. aid?
What?
Feminist frequency.
Oh, I'm not shocked.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's what I mean,
Well, I
man.
mean,
that
that is
stuff
the
is going to
surefire
dry up
way to
in a big
reduce
way.
population.
Like, it's not going to totally
Yeah.
die, no. But man, that stuff has been dealt a hell of a fucking blow.
They'll have less resources, but they're still going to be there. Like, they'll have to prioritize, like, you know, eating over going out and spreading the word.
Well, on that horrific note, I'm actually going to hop out. This room is getting overheated by my old computer that is running hot, and I got to open the door. So have a good night.
I think I'm going to wrap it up too. All right, folks, if you enjoy the content I put out, do consider supporting the show. We got streamlabs.com/thebecloff, paypal.me/thebecloff. Send your donations there. If you want a playlist, it's $12 for 3 songs, no, all totaled no more than 12 minutes. I would rather you not do country because it's terrible. But if
I would do all of the country.
Well, you're gonna pay. You're
country.
gonna shell out your fucking $12 for it then.
But in the spirit of our last remarks, I'd like to play this little clip.
You can't talk about rape. Rape's not funny. I say, fuck you. I think it's hilarious. How do you like that?
Yeah. This idea that it's this one thing you can't fucking portray. It's like, no, it's part of fucking existence. You can portray it in art. There's no rules to how you're like I'm tired of this idea that there have to be all these rules to art. That we have no. You can't do the thing I don't like. Just don't fucking watch it then. Whatever. Like,
but someone else will watch it. That's not good.
Well, good. Whatever. I'm tired of this shit, man. No. And thankfully, I think that shit's on its way out. I think the age of turning every redhead into a black transsexual is over. Or at least it's coming.
Yeah, it's also people getting sick of it. I mean...
Yeah, there's also that. I mean, it's getting to a point where it's almost an overreaction at times. Like, people go looking for it. So, yeah, people are done with it.
Yeah, I think the Kingdom Come Deliverance speed development is the most recent one.
Anyways, like I said, Streamlabs, PayPal, send a donation, have a message. If you send a PayPal thing and you have a little message you want me to read, I'll only use your first name. And also, I'll put a link to the Amazon wishlist down below where you can buy me some of the dumb shit that I like. That would be cool. And that's about it for tonight, folks. I want to thank